Let's see. All right. Yay, I'm live. Hello, hello, everybody. I'm just trying to make sure I'm showing up on the thing. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I am. It's always nice when things work out. You know what I mean? All right, good. It's good. It's good. Okay, so hello. How's everybody doing? I am Jen Sainty, Stardust Wonder Tarot. Hopefully, if you're on here, just let me know if you can hear me okay and all that good stuff. Yes. Hi. Hello. So I have a ridiculous amount. Like my to be read pile is ridiculous, and I tend to pick up I tend to pick up a book, read a little bit, put it aside, pick it up, and just kind of skim through all of the things. So today I just wanted to kind of show you all the things I'm going through here. And it's also a lot of the people I want to have on to talk to them about all their books. So most of these books actually I'm looking I have like two piles. We'll see how much I can get through, but they're all Llewellyn because Marcus spoils me, number one. And Llewellyn also happens to be my publisher. So this is all from my Llewellyn family. Some of the books are new, some of the books are not out yet, some have been out for a little while. So there are different things that I look at and try to decide how I want to go about and read them and whatever. So I'm going to start with the ones that I just got, and I've looked through them a little bit, but they seem pretty stinking interesting. So this is actually not out yet. This is Thrifty Witchery, Magic for the Penny Pitching Practitioner. Look how cute. So this is a proof. This isn't out yet. But this is by Martha Kirby Kipo. Hopefully, and if I kibosh your names, I'm so sorry. And Vincent Higginbotham, and the foreword by Jason Mankey. So they always give me these little papers in here, and this should tell me when it's going to be out. Oh, release in April. So like April, May-ish is when this one's coming out. And so this book is all about being a thrifty witch, which I think is always a handy thing. So it has some practices, talks about self-empowerment, intuition, wisdom, adapting your wisdom, and then it has some practices. Talks about just collecting some of your magical tools and how you can find stuff that isn't expensive. Lots of exercises in here. It really seems like it talks about just kind of defining exactly what it is that your magic is so that you can, figure out what kind of stuff you need for it. Just kind of make intentions in the world. And this is called, I like the name of this one. It's called The Tangibles. So this one is about applying your intuition, wisdom in tangible ways. Let's see what we got here. It's about horseshoe practical practice, horseshoe luck. So there is some different things that you can do in here. A little bit of history. So it talks about horseshoes and what exactly the meaning of it is. So yeah, so because they were used for protection. Yeah, so this one looks pretty interesting. So I'm curious to really dive into this and maybe have them on to chat with them. So this is coming out in April. Thrifty Witchery. So, hi everybody. Good morning. Good morning. For all of you that join me, we are going through my to be read pile. So that is that one. Now I'm going to try to keep, I have like all this stuff on my desk. I'm going to try to keep it organized. Okay. Next one we have up here is Container Magic by Tardy Bettle. Spellcraft using sachets, bottles, pockets, and jars. I like this. I like the size of this one. It's like a cute little book. Nice. I like the cover is nice. So this book is coming out January, February. So this one should be out. If it's not out already out, it should be out soon. And like I said, these are all from Llewellyn, so you can go on and check them out, or in Amazon or wherever you buy your stuff. So this one, it really talks about container magic, like spell jars and that sort of thing, how to create one, how to work with them. And it just talks about there's a lot of spell jars that you use to you use different like dirt from different places to kind of enhance or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So it does talk about that, how to gather it, casting your spell. And then it has a lot of um, different spell jars on here. Track customers, protect the peace in the family, open psychic eye key bottle. And I really like this too because I do a lot of spell jars. Like I do a lot of videos with them. So this is cool. And they talk about doing paper packets, witches ladders. No, I like this one. Set someone up. There is a nice spell in here just for that. So let's see here. I want to see what it is. So it's a pocket spell. And when the animals eat it, the spell is gone. Oh, so they have some like juicy ones in here. This one, like, so this is like if you're getting really into it. Um, so this one is you're supposed to set it out so where an animal can eat it, and when the animal eats this packet, then the person will leave you alone and shut up, whatever. So pen, paper, knife, beef tongue to represent speaking the voice, 5 drops of lemon juice for hexing, reversal, souring, a tablespoon of ground cayenne pepper to cause pain in the mouth when gossiping, sewing needle, and 1 to 2 feet of black upholstery thread, hammer, nail, and about a foot of natural rope. Okay, so this definitely is a little more really getting into it. So a lot of conjuring type stuff. So if you really want to go deep into some really interesting spells, and I would definitely there's poppets in here. Yeah, some incense, how to make some different oils. This has got a little bit of everything in it. So that's what that one is. And that one is out this month. I'm pretty sure it came out this month. So if not, it's very, very soon. So yeah, so that one is container magic. Next up, we have the Everyday Witches Coven, Rituals and Magic for Two or More by Deborah Blake. I'm hoping to have her on at some point as well. So there is that. Hi, if you join, say hello. So this one, oops, my keyboard. So this one is coming out in January, February. So this one should be out, if not now, very, very soon. And like I said, I plan to have her on at some point too. So this is about rituals for two or more people. And I really like that. I like that idea, and especially if it's, like, for 2 or more people, so you don't always have to have, like, a full coven to do stuff, and a lot of us are solidary anyway. But it talks about starting a coven, how many people, where will you gather, why will you gather, how much how and when, talks about outside, practicing outside. Is it casual or is it something that's very committed and you dress up? Who is going to lead this coven, and direct it and organize it and all of that. So she does talk about what happens in some Wiccan covens and what happens in if it's just like a witch coven, which that is, there is a difference there. Just really just kind of outlining the age and who could be there. Are you teaching or is it just a gathering group? Um, and it's honestly, if you want to be in a coven or create one, this seems like a really good book for that because it outlines everything that you need to do and know to be able to do that. So, we have some rituals in here as well, which is nice. Some divination. So yeah, and it has some ritual etiquette in case you were wondering, and all of that. So yeah, that's pretty handy. That's a handy book. Hey, Joanna. I like that. I mean, I think that there's a really good outline if you want to dive into that. So there's that one. Next up, we have A Witch's Guide to Creating and Performing Rituals That Actually Work by Phoenix LaFay, and the foreword by Laura Tempest Haycroft. So this is lots of ritual books, I guess I'm getting here. I'm not sad about it. This one is coming out like April, Mayish. And so this is just a proof, so some of the stuff may change and all of that, but that's a cute cover. I like that cover. So this one really goes into, let me see, just ritual and meditation, what it is, spells, the difference, magic, traditions. So this has a lot of information for you to really start working with different rituals and performing them, creating them if you're creating your own, the timing, correspondences, boundaries. Yeah, I like that. So there is a lot of handy information in here talking about what to put, what to use in your rituals. And then there are some cleansing, those cleansing baths, cleansing. One of my favorites, I have to say. It's just talks. It's here too. It talks a little bit about elemental invoking and with the pentacles, how to do that. So that's pretty handy. Moons. And then there's some like this little checklist. I love the font of this. And like I said, this is a proof, so things may change in it, but usually it's pretty close. So it gives you this little checklist that you can just kind of go through so that you can figure out how you want it to go. So yeah, you can just kind of go. That's a handy dandy little book right there. What's next? Here we got Unapologetically Magic, Standing Strong at the Center of Your Witchcraft by Whiskey Stevens. Devin Hunter did the foreword of it. This is released in February, March. See in this one. A lot of purples with these couple of books, right, that I've had. That's very interesting to me. So we have that. Let's see here. What do we got here? What is this we have for us? grounding, believing in your magic, tarot, clearing your energy. So it seems like this is more of just, I think, creating your practice, knowing what your practice is, getting some background information so you can add to your practice. That. There's some exercises on grounding, talks about meditation, altars, and it talks about too here about some tarot royalty, everyday magic, just doing art magic. And then there's some like self-love meditation, working with magic, just things to consider, and some a digital servitor is an energetic form that has a set purpose and mission. Interesting. So doing like digital stuff. Hey Chris, personal power, some more meditation. So yeah, I think there's a lot of really interesting information and just a kind of a different take on some things. Yeah, I think this is helpful, especially if you are trying to define your practice, create your practice. So that is interesting. That's an interesting book. And that one is coming out, like I said, February, March. So trying to stay organized. I'm trying really hard to stay organized. Let's see. So now moving on. We have Tarot in Love, which I've pretty much read this whole book. And this is written by Elliot Adam. And I absolutely adore Elliot. Him and I have so much fun in our lives. And we are going to be doing something special on Valentine's Day. So keep an eye out for that. That just reminded myself I need to make graphic for that. But yeah, more details soon. So this book is all about love readings. How to approach love readings, how to do love readings, different things to indicate in the cards about a situation. If you have somebody doing a love reading, new relationships, old relationships, all of that kind of stuff. So, and he's got some card spreads in here. And as you know, as readers, we know that is one of the top things we get asked, right? It usually there's a love relationship inquiry for love question in there somewhere. So this is a really good book to kind of give you some extra guidance and a different insight on how to answer the cards and how to look at the cards when you're doing specific love readings. Like I said, on Valentine's Day, which lands, I'm gonna look at my calendar. Yeah, that lands on a Tuesday this year. So we're going to be doing a live, probably just like this, and we're going to talk about the book. We're going to pull some cards, possibly. We're going to give some tips and tricks for readers when giving love readings, when things come up. You know, keep an eye out. This is definitely a good book. Definitely. And like I said, I absolutely adore him. So that is out already. So if you want to get that, totally, you can get that right before Valentine's Day and be good. No, I'm telling you, I have so many that I'm trying to like get through, so you can always go back. And I will list the books in in the post after this afterwards, so that if you want to peek at them, you can do that as well. I'm trying. So the next one we have here is your Tarot Toolkit, Simple Activities for Your Daily Practice by Ruli Story. This is big. This is a cute cover. So this one will be coming out in February, March. So this will be coming out very soon. What do we got here? Let's see. So So this is pretty interesting too. I'm just noticing. So for everything that's on here too, they have kind of an effort. This is like a big book, an effort level. So it has like effort level low, effort level medium to high. So you can, it's like a choose your own adventure, right? If you just feel like doing something really low key or you don't have a lot of time, you're going to go to the effort low section. If you're feeling it and you're going to just carve out time and do some stuff, then you can go to the medium and high. So that's fun. I like that. So each, I'm just going to look at the chapters here. That's pretty handy. Yeah, so it goes through the majors, the wands, cups, swords, pentacles. So it just goes through each of the cards, has some affirmations, reflection, actions, and that's where the medium high kind of one comes in. And it does that for all of the cards so that you can actually work with each individual card if you so choose. And just to kind of dive in a little bit. I just happened to like, what is it we on? Okay, we're on the three of swords, which makes sense. So that's what it looks like, right? And the first thing, and I saw when I like looked to it, I saw something about action. The low to medium is break something. So if you're working with that three of swords energy, that's the low is to break something. Yeah, and we're legit breaking something. That's funny. I like that. This is fun. I like this. I mean, it's really an interesting way to connect with the cards and do like different activities, you know. So that's fun. I'm gonna have to try to like check some of those out and get back to you about that because that's pretty interesting. I like that. All right, let's see what's next. What's next? So this book, I have pretty much read through already. And this is Sun Signs and Love, Relationship Compatibility by the Stars by Desiree Antilla? I think it's Antilla. So, which on her Instagram too, she does post like a daily kind of forecast. So this is a really interesting book too because it is it takes each sign of the zodiac and kind of pairs it with another one and talks about how they relate to each other. So the one I just pulled was Gemini and Aquarius. So it shows you kind of like that. Element, air and air, and then the modalities fixed and fit. So it tells like a relationship, but then it does mention like friendship too. So I think there's a lot of interesting information in here. And when you know, like when you go to look up, if you have a partner or whatever, you can go to look up here and it tells you to how to spot a Gemini. And this is kind of like what the chapter looks like. And it gives you all the information on here. And then the ruling planet, mythology, positive qualities and negative forms, how a Gemini loves, which I think is that's really interesting too. And I like that section if you can even like if your kids, your family members, that one can kind of go for anything. You know, just to see how they love and which you might be able to understand that, you know, if you know what their zodiac sign is, um, understand it a little bit better. So I think that's interesting. And then how to lose a Gemini. So that one I think is interesting. And it's funny I pulled a Gemini because my husband's Gemini. So I think that's pretty interesting. And then it says how to bed a Gemini. And then it goes into the different associations Gemini, 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 Virgo, Capricorn, all those things. So this is a very interesting book. Like a lot of insight in here. I really do like that one. Moving on. So has anyone really seen one that they're really interested in right now? Like, is there one that really popped out at you that you like? Let me see what I got here. Oh, I'm just like throwing them around, really, what's happening right now. Oh, I don't have the little paper. Oh, I might have dropped it. So this one is Easy Tarot Combinations, How to Connect the Cards for Insightful Readings by Josephine Ellershaw. And she also wrote best-selling Easy Tarot. So I'm not positive. I think this one's coming out soon because this is a proof. So I did read through this, and it's a tarot book. Obviously, it goes through just combinations of the different cards on how they can relate to the situation. So, like for example, and then there is some reversals, associations, combinations. So if you get a certain combination of cards, so here's Two of Pentacles featured combinations, Two of Wands, Five of Wands, Two of Pentacles. You may be trying to keep the peace with the warring factions of multiple working partners. At times, it feels like herding cats, but you can pull it off. So I think this is a really great resource too if you're a new reader. I think it's always great to intuitively see what you get when you're first starting. And then this would be really good to just get some extra insight too. Or if you're really stuck, I think this would be helpful, and it's easy tarot combinations. So it's just there to help you out, give you, if you're really stuck. So this is definitely a handy book. And this is one, you can just kind of pick up and look, if you pull your three cards, or because it is mostly for three. Well, there's two cards in here. There's some two card combinations, but yeah, there's both. There's two and three. So if you really want to just get some extra insight. So this book can be very handy for that. Right? My reading pile it's quite ridiculous. It really is. So let's see what moving on. Moving on. So, like I said, some of these books are the ones that I'll pick up and I read them and I put them down. And then, I keep reading through them and all of that good stuff. So another one I have been reading through is Spirits Unveiled, and this is by Michelle Welch, forward by Ethany. And this is really just talks about kind of the different spirits that are out there, connecting with angels, ascended masters, um, animal guides, elementals, things to look out regarding spiritual visitations, how to identify different spirits in land, place, thing. So there is a lot of really good information in here and different things to try. So you talk about, the ascended masters, what they are, how you work with them. And I do like how let me try there's different things you can try, different practices. And I like how the section that we have, like she has a section called the flip side. There's in the chapters here, and it has to do with what if it's not going as planned, right? And working with different things. But what if, this is talking about ghosts. Like, what if sometimes there are ghosts that you just do not want to deal with at all. They will latch onto you and annoy you and that sort of thing, and how to put up those boundaries. So that is so important. Talks about some star seeds, all of that good stuff. A little bit of chakras. So that one has a lot of really good information about working on all those things. Um, Jonathan. Yeah, no, really what I had to do, and that's why I was a few minutes late on here, Jonathan, because I had to go through and gather everything because they're all sitting all over the place. And and it's so funny too because I am writing a book for Llewellyn, Magical Manifesting with the Moon, and when you're reading or when you're writing, you're also doing so much research also. So then that is a whole nother pile that I don't even have out, like I have over on the side because as you're just researching and reading different perspectives on things, it's really crazy because you read even more. So I'm getting there. A few more to go, and then I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good. Um, so next I have here is Twist Your Fate. This is actually Wiser. This is probably my only not Llewellyn book that I have sitting here right now. And this is Teresa Reed. This is one of her newer books, Manifest Success with Astrology and Tarot. And I always love Teresa's books. They are easy to read, easy to understand. I love how she explains astrology. So that is definitely, and she tells a lot of stories too, which is very helpful to relate the different signs, the different energies of the planets to your own life. So they're just, she really goes into the chart, all of that stuff. And really, and then too, we have tarot. She brings tarot into it, the major arcana, here to because you can really use tarot with astrology and to kind of get more insight on what's going on or what you need to focus on. Like, I mean, that's why we have those like Mercury retrograde spreads, tarot spreads too. Like, all right, well, this is here. Instead of just freaking out and going into a doom spiral, what can I do? Right. So I love that she is really has a lot of practical advice too. Nobody ever wants to go into a doom spiral. Not fun at all. Oh, I can definitely make a fort. I can probably make a couple of forts. But I'm always referencing them, and this is just the life of a book nerd, really is what happens. Um, yeah, right, Jonathan. Okay, so this one already came out. This one came out in October-ish. And this is called Path of a Hedge Witch, Simple Natural Magic and Art of Hedge Writing by Joanna van der Hoven. Hopefully I said that okay. This is just look how pretty this cover is. Really pretty. I do like it. So this is really all about if you're kind of wondering about natural witchcraft, being a hedge witch, what that is, this is a really nice book to get you started. It really explains about it, explains about working solitary, all of those things. Um, it does give you some history on witchcraft, the 19th, 20th centuries, just a couple of just some stuff about that, just some history because it's always good to know some history. Um, let's see, and then learning through nature. So we talk about working with deity, goddesses, gods. Let's see. Sorry, I keep saying I don't know why I'm doing that today. Celtic gods and goddesses. We have a little brief description on here, which is nice. Working with the moon. You know, I like that. Let's see what else. The wheel of the year, the Sabbats, celebrating them, what they are. Working elements. And then some guidelines for working, guidelines for meeting the fair folk. And these are guidelines. And, also the fair folk, also, it's one of those things that can be the fae brownies, um, all of those just kind of earthy elemental friends of ours because it's really important. And I've talked about working with the fae before too, just generally more the Fae. But it's just knowing that they have a different set of rules than we do. So knowing about it, reading about it before you just dive into it and is really important. And I like that, she really does go into that. Working trees, rituals, building your own tradition, which is so important. How to craft a spell. And then it has some different herbs working with them in here. So it's really handy. Like I think that this is worth a read even if you have an established practice, just as like a different viewpoint, maybe you'll get different tips and tricks. And I think, I think it's worth a read. Let me see if there's any comments here. All right. Hello, everybody. So, oh no. Sorry, I got a phone call. Can you hear it? Of course, the phone always rings. Like, nobody calls me all freaking damn day. And the minute I get online, so many phone calls. Okay, so this book is out right now. And I'm just going to show you. I got some stickers. You know how we love our stickers. I actually was very honored to be able to write an acknowledgement for this book, a little blurb. So that was really awesome to do. So this is Modern Witchcraft with the Greek Gods by Jason Mankey and Estrella Tour. So this book really is a deep dive into all of the gods and talks about them, who they were, what they did, just all of this good stuff. There's a lot of charms, excuse me, spells, charms, potions to work with these different gods as well. And I love that. Excuse me. I forgot my water upstairs. So then there's also personal insights from different people in the community. And I love that too. I love just hearing other people's take on it. There's different rituals. So, we got Hermes in here, personal insights, Hestia, and it tells you, Estrella did this one. Then we go into personal insight. So Rachel Henderson wrote her personal insight. And a lot of things I love reading too because they may work with these gods or goddesses exclusively, and they have some really great stories. So I really think it also helps to understand the personality of the gods and goddesses before you start working with them. So you know kind of what you're getting into. And this book is really good about that. And it's a really good reference when you're doing different God goddess work, all of that. We have Pan, Persephone, Selene. There's so many. And there's different in the back here too is a calendar of ancient holidays and celebrations, not separations. So that I think is really interesting too, because that's like one of those things I always kind of thought about. Like you see that thing posts come up, but I like that they're all in one place like this. So that's really interesting, and especially if you create an altar for a certain god or goddess, and you can kind of look here and see what festivals and celebrations, so that maybe you can do something a little extra. And then there's Greek style rituals. So if you really want to do, Greek style rituals and go all in, this is definitely the one for you. So, I mean, and this is a meaty book. There's a lot of great information in here. Highly recommended it. And, for it. So that's always fun. I always like doing it. Oh, I love that. So yeah, there's definitely it's really interesting. We have a couple more to go. So we have, and I actually wrote a blurb for this one too. Visual alchemy. by Laura Croft, which I do know Laura, and I adore her as well. So this kind of builds on the last book, her sigil book, and it's really like kind of stepping a little bit more into the sigilatory book. So this book came out in October. It is available now, and it talks about just just being inspired and using your own inspiration to start really tapping into the sigils, working with them a little bit more, kind of creating them in your own symbolic language, um, trusting your intuition, symbol stories, and she encouraged you to draw every day. Drawing takes practice because a lot of us, do sigils or write sigils, create sigils. And, they don't look as pretty as the ones you online, right? And, Laura's just saying here to make sure you just practice, just keep doing it and practice because you'll find your own little flow as far as whatever it is that your like sigil mark of how you do it because everybody's going to do it different. Let's see, and then just talking about here's different sigils that she does, and I love how her sigils look. See how that like look how and she goes, "This," and these are, just different ones. She tells you that she created this one here, she created in a virtual workshop in April 2020. It's designed to bring calm and clarity to your minds, bodies, and spirits, as well as bring calm to the larger community, what elements went into it, and suggestions for use. So we can go, in there, and she really has, and I like that, obviously she has these because it's it's really, it's good, like, inspiration. Like, you don't want you can definitely just put a paper over this and copy this exact ex the sigil. It won't be exact because it's not your own take on it, but I really think you just to kind of get some insight on what they look like as you can create your own. Because I think that's where, obviously that's where the power is in your own sigils. So here, and she does go into these, and I do recommend getting her other book as well, Sigilatory. Um, I have it. I have it here somewhere. That's in a whole nother pile. And if I go looking for it, I won't come back. I'll just never come back. But just some idea of how to do it. So it's just really going deeper into the work. I really think that I do a lot of candle spells and stuff like that and carve that into the candles. So it's really a good way to understand them and understand what the symbols mean to you and how you can use them in an effective way. So let's see what's next. I am legit. I have 2 books left. So now we have Crystal Magic for the Modern Crystal Witch. So it's by Devin Hunter. So pretty. Um, oh yeah, everywhere. And that's why I decided I had to share these with you. And, Llewellyn is kind enough to send these to me, and I want to make sure I get them out there. So I'm like, you know what? We're gonna just do it all at once. Because as I can go through them and read them, I can do a little bit more detailed posts on them. But then everybody gets a general idea what's going on out there. So, Devin, what I think was really awesome with this book, which I do know, and I have interviewed Devin before, and I'll have to get him back on, was he took all his own pictures, like really nice pictures. He really does. Look at that. He does, and it's really just the layout is just gorgeous. Look at that. I'm trying to see here. Different ones. Look at this. Really pretty. And I think, when you have a book that you're working with crystals, it's really good to have the visuals, and that's really helpful. So he goes into here doing crystal grids, obviously different different crystals, the information on those. I really like. Oops. And then he has some spells in the back. Look at that picture. Right? Like this is just you gotta buy right, right. That's funny. Yeah, no, they send me books. Bookmark is spoils me. So let me see, where was I? Let me go back. Just affirmations, creating a crystal sigil exercise. Ooh, I love that. See, right on the coattails of Laura. Um, just the energy, the water energy, air energy, fire energy, because each crystal is associated with an element. Different types of quartz. Look at that quartz too. That must give off so many rainbows in the light. I'm jealous of it. So yeah, this is like one of those books that you can read it from front to back, but you can also just pick it up and start working with different things. Um, I really do think that, and there's planetary correspondences here too. Like I've looked through this a couple of times, and I like there's crystal mapping, complex grids, dragon grid exercise. There's just a lot of information in here, and the visuals I think are really helpful. So this book is out. I definitely recommend that if you somebody that works with crystals or are interested in crystals, want to know more about crystals. This one is a really good one. So, oh my gosh, no, you're totally fine. I distract easy, Jonathan, very easily. So it's really not you, it's me. It's me. All right. So let's see. Oh my gosh, almost an I have one book left. I have one book here. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. I have 3 books left. We're doing it. You are on this journey with me, and we're going through it, all of them. So this one is from Phoenix Silver Star. Love this cover. Like, I can't wait to see, like, like, I can't wait to see my book in, like, physical form like this, or my tarot decks, any of it. I've been working on everything for so freaking long. I'm, like, in this, like, weird liminal space of creation. So it's gonna be really cool at to see, like, a physical thing and, like, hold it in my hands. Like, I cannot wait for that. So this I love this cover. And this is by Phoenix Silver Star. How to craft spells that work. All right. Yes. And I think, I think all, I did a couple books that had spell work in them and all of that. And I really think it's, and even my book too has different spells for the moon phases and stuff like that. And I think it's just so helpful because it's also gives you the basis of creating spells for yourself, gives you an idea of how the format of it is, and you can try like a spell that I had made or try a spell from this one. And maybe you're like, you know what, I think it'd really work better for me if I added this or took out that. And that's fine. And that's what it's all about, is creating your own practice. So I think that's what's important about reading in general and reading all of these books. Like, yeah, I've been practicing witch for 20 something years. Why am I still reading books about witches and spell work? Because the insight is always it's always helpful, and it takes you to another space that, like, oh, maybe I'm gonna try that or incorporate this. I didn't think of it that way. And it's the same thing as like reading tarot, right? So this one came out in November. So I have read through this one. talks about what is a spell, ethics, and laws of magic, which, it's always good to read that stuff. Like I said, it's always good to kind of know talks about what's out there. Magical bits and pieces. And this is about preparing correspondences, symbols, elements, types of spells, the different types of spells. Let's see. Quick spells, spells for healing. So yeah, so this is really just a little bit of everything about spell work. And just gives you a couple different things to think about too as you go to create spells, as you go to work with certain things. And again, when you're working with different deity and all of that, and if you are including them in your spell work, it's a good idea to know a little bit about that before you do. And you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, but I do recommend doing a little bit of reading. So we have moon phases, we have planetary symbols. So this is, let's see. So this even goes into the aspects of the different houses in the astrology chart because it's like a pie and there's the little slivers and each one's a house. So it does talk about that. Magical bits and pieces. There's some symbolism here. Runes. We have a little bit of runes going on, doing some rune magic. Love rune magic. I haven't played with my runes in a while. I have to get my runes out. I have to do that for sure. Yeah, yeah. I definitely recommend. Devin's book's really nice. It's you know what? It's just pretty. It's got great information in it, but it's a very pretty book. Um, Thanks, Jonathan. So there's some runes, some not spells. That's always good. Love that. Potions, kitchen magic, magic with natural. Look at this. I love this. It's so pretty. So yeah, and then there's some spells here. This is interesting. Like to kind of, I guess, touch on like numerology and spell work. It's broken down. This is interesting. Spells in this book that require 8 ingredients, spells that require 9 ingredients, 10 or more ingredients, 3 ingredients. So that's an interesting thing. If you want to work um maybe with some numerology in your spell work, you can look on here and find the number of ingredients to kind of incorporate that into your spell work, which is that's interesting. I have not seen that before. So I do think that's really interesting. A set of runes with epoxy resin and there's ooh, pretty. I like that. Okay. So up next we have I swear there's only 2 more. Deborah Castellano, Magic for Troubled Times, Rituals, Recipe, and Real Talk for Witches. So I know that this one's been out a while now. This one's been out. Trying to see. This one is out like September, August. So I let me see here. I turned to the intro. Why should you trust me? Yes, that's very true. They are. They are. I do know that for a fact because I have done that before. I just never seen it actually outlined. Let's see. This is just talking about just had some life talk here. Talking about let's see some pandemic stuff. Um just really too about like this is like so, all right, let's get past this. Grounding talks about grounding, why it's important. Um Not every goddess has a name, which is very true. Same with spirit guides. Not all of them have a name. Just different recipes here. These are some food recipes, actually. Sustenance, it's called. So these are kind of some magical food recipes we have. Grain bowl, smoked duck noodle soup, vegetable pasta, roasted chicken dinner, pumpkin curry soup. Interesting. All right. Then we go into dark moon ritual, and this one has this little like worksheet to try. What else? Some different things you can do. There's a tarot spread. Adjust your crown tarot spread. That's cute. I like how they did it on the crown like that. And just about working with different, so about working with Ganesha, which I have a Ganesh altar. Just offerings, different things, so some protection stuff. So this one is definitely like kind of that a little bit of everything going on. Some, different spells, rituals, how to work with different things. It's fun. I like this book. This is nice. Yes, well, when I've done some work with people regarding their spirit guides, I'll do some candle spells and I read the wax. And the one I'll never forget, they were like, listen, like, they wanted to know the name, and they were like, that's like so earth. They were like, we don't need a name. We are beyond names. We don't need that. So I always thought that was so interesting. That was such an interesting response. And they were a little snooty about it, but they were like, Earth people do that. Like Earth humans, we don't need that anymore. And that was just such a fun thing. I always just thought that was really funny. And I had to laugh. And because I was just like, all right, then fine. You could have just said, no, I'm not telling you our names. All right, two books. Well, this one, I know this one came out in the summer, and this is Positive Pagan, Lisa Wagner, staying upbeat in an offbeat world. I like that. I like that little phrase. And I felt like I kind of had to sing it. Let's see what we got here. World. I don't know why I'm singing it, but it's just happening, friends. So this is really about just harnessing positivity in your everyday life and bringing it into your magic. And if you aren't feeling positive or you feel like there's some bad juju floating around you, there's some recommended crystals, talks about shielding, grounding, all of that. Practicing gratitude, which is so important. Some journaling exercises. Just different tools for working with all sorts of things. Just creating your altar and the tools that you can put on it. Connecting a deity offering bag, cleansing your surroundings, different ways to do that. Excuse me. Cleansing yourself and your body and spirit. So that's always important. Listening, accepting, resistance and freedom. Processing processing trauma and traumatic events. And then there's a ritual, calm in the storm ritual. So I think this is an interesting one. Establishing a routine. And then it goes through a positive pagan year. So each month it goes through like a positive it has like a little ritual, like wolf moon ritual for that. So February talks about Mbok, the halfway mark to spring. We're getting gold all month and get a Bridget's wheel. Guard your house from protection. Let's see. Growing, like basic Mbok stuff. And then there's a snow moon ritual here. And that is like creating a milk bath and taking a milk bath. So that's nice. I like that. The rituals are nice. So yeah, so that's all about being a positive pagan. Last book. Last book. And this one came out in summer too. And Tarot, the Way of Mindfulness. Use the cards to find peace and balance. Johannes Fieberg and Evelinbürger. Hopefully I said your names right. Not, I'm sorry. Totally my bad. So this book, let's see what we got in here. Tarot is with mindfulness, practical card reading, exercises, suggestions, and tips for your own practice. So this is like very glossy. Let's gloss out those pages. So it goes through all of the cards, just tarot mindfulness, what that is, how you start to do that, how to work with that, how to different exercises on how to practice mindfulness, talking about different tarot spreads, and then it goes into the cards, message challenge, what you can do, going deeper, and kind of a question. And it has a picture with each card here, and kind of like a little whatever that talks about it. So that's, and they talk about the cups here. So that's pretty interesting too. Let's go through. It says pictures are doors. Experience of pictures at museum, provide information. And it's just like talking about like what you see in the picture and what that means to you and how it relates to you. And that like symbology of cards and just being more mindful of that and how it may affect the reading. So that is very interesting insight on, again, it's one of those things, if you're somebody that is just learning tarot, or even if you've done tarot forever, it's always good to pick up these books and read them and just to get a different insight. So I really, and this one, isn't a long read either. And I think it would be interesting to see, how these different insights can affect your readings. Like how that will, what will you'll think about? Like, oh, I thought about this. They said something about opening yourself to play, and you pull that card, and oh, that'll pop in your head maybe, and why? And how does that relate? It's interesting. Why not? Right? We always have to be learning. Always. That's why we have books, right? Because we're always learning. Excuse me. I think that's it for now. I wanted to go through Matt Auryn's Mastering Magic, and I have it upstairs in another pile. Just saying. So I don't have the actual physical book in my hand. I'm trying to see if I have the other one. Yeah, I have it upstairs because that one is sitting next to on my couch. But that is also a wonderful book to use when you are starting, when you want to maybe add to your magical practice, if you want to just get some different take on some history, just different practices and how you maybe can incorporate them into your stuff too. And I really like how Matt does it in a very simple way, and he explains it very, in a very clear, concise way that makes it very easy for you to use if you want to. And and there's just a lot of information in there, and I know that he has some pictures in there as well as far as, like, invoking and all of that. So if you are someone that, again, is starting out, is just wondering, wants to dip their toe in all things witchy, mastering magic, I think, is a really great one to start with, and that's by, and that's out, Matt Auryn, and that is, Llewellyn as well. So, yeah, no, I definitely recommend that one for sure, and I like I said, I thought I grabbed it, and I sadly did not, just sitting upstairs on another pile of books. That's just what happens. Yeah, so that's what I have today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope maybe had some insight, saw some books that you like, go grab them. I will list them all in the post. And next time, because I've been on for almost an hour already, or over an hour, so I gotta go. But we'll see the next batch of books. If you like this, let me know. If you want to, if you like me going through them like this in this way, let me know because I will definitely do it again because I'm sure I will be getting another box of books very soon. Yeah, and that's it. I hope you guys all have a great day. Also, if you feel so inclined, which you probably should, head over to the link in my bio and sign up for my pre-launch page for my Kickstarter for my deck Stardust Wanderer Tarot. And that is going live in the spring, folks. It's happening. Now, this deck has been almost 4-year labor of love, and it's time for it to be out in the world. And I'm so excited. So we have a last chunk of cards. I'm finishing up the guidebook. And I just got a pile. I know. Yeah, it's been a minute. Okay. And everybody, I appreciate your patience, but art is art and we can't rush it. So there's nothing I can do about that. And my artist is absolutely wonderful. And that's just how it is. That's how the cookie crumbles, folks. So I have a whole book of, or no, a whole box full of sample cards to try to decide what kind of card deck I want. I'm probably going to do gold gilded edging because it is like space pirates and gods and goddesses and all that. So that kind of goes along with it. It's got to be gold, right? It's just got to be. And just working on all those little things and just starting to get everything rolling and researching. So yeah. Um, and what else? I have, my book Magical Manifesting with the Moon. Hopefully in the next year or so that'll be out. Still in the process of writing that. And also I have another deck with Llewellyn coming out in Enchanted Forest Felines, kind of the working title for both of those. So that will hopefully, we're zipping along on that. My artist is really great for that too. She's really, she's been doing a really good job. So that's like all of the stuff and things I can think of. I hope everybody has a great day. And I will talk to you all very soon. Make sure that you like and subscribe, though, to all of my things because I am going to be doing some interviews. Like I said, Elliot and I are going to be doing something on Valentine's Day. You don't want to miss it. All right. Bye.